Hi, my name is David Knight. My wife Kylie and I are the creators of the Extraordinary Outreach Experience. It's a strategically planned outreach event that will help to encourage volunteer involvement, equip your congregation to share the gospel, and help you to expand the kingdom of God within your own community. Now, I'll get to details on that in just a moment, but first let me share with you my background and my story. I was raised in a home that really didn't practice followership of Jesus. Oh, sure, we would attend church on Christmas and Easter and a couple of other Sundays during the year. But if anything, our God was the God of money. I was raised to believe that money would make you happy. And my dad did really well at his job. And while we weren't excessively wealthy, we did live very comfortably. It wasn't as though I didn't have a sense of some higher power. In fact, I dabbled in various forms of spiritual expressions, from Kabbalah to Wicca, even a little Christianity thrown in there. And I did that all throughout my junior and high school years. At age 19, I was in college with no real direction in my life except that I wanted to be a magician. And I had the opportunity to attend a magic show by a man named Andre Cole. Now, Andre was an illusionist, a magical consultant, an inventor, and he was an evangelist. I had actually seen his show a couple of times before and had accepted Christ. You know, raised my hand, prayed the prayer, sent the card in, the whole thing, but nothing in my life ever changed. This night, however, this night was different. At the end of the show, I approached the team and offered to help tear down and load out. And while we were working, I was talking to the team and mentioned what a great opportunity it must be to be able to travel around with him and be a part of the show. And they told me that one of their team members was actually leaving the tour and a position was opening up. Well, I quickly jumped on that, and within 6 months, I too was traveling around the world with Andre Cole. One of the first shows I got the chance to do was at the Dream Center in LA. Now, this is an abandoned hospital that has been turned into housing for the homeless and destitute in the 7 deadliest blocks of America. While I was backstage at the show, I was looking out through the curtains at the audience. And we were performing for the tenants of the Dream Center. And I remember thinking to myself that most of those people in that audience didn't have a penny to their name. And we were playing some worship songs over the audio system. And I remember there was this one little old lady in the center of the audience. And she had her hands raised up in the air. She was singing at the top of her lungs, and she had the biggest, brightest smile I'd ever seen on anyone's face. I was confused. Here was this penniless woman who was happier than anyone I'd ever seen in my life. Money was supposed to make me happy, and she didn't have any, and she was completely happy. What was it that she had that I didn't? I came to realize that what she had was Jesus. And I knew at that moment that that's what I wanted. I wanted him in my life. I wanted the joy that she exhibited. Fortunately, for the next 3 years of my life, I was able to travel around the world with this show. And I was able to be discipled in the ways of Jesus by Andre, my teammates, and other Christ followers that I surrounded myself with. Since that time, I've come to see that this is how Jesus calls us to share him with others, through relationship. Each member of the body has a role in the process. We sometimes think that just by bringing an evangelist into our community, we're fulfilling the Great Commission. But what if you could equip your people to be the evangelists in your community all the time? What if, rather than one person coming in to speak Jesus to 600 people, you could train 600 people to go out into the community and speak Jesus to every person they came in contact with? What if, rather than a formulaic approach to evangelism, you could give your people the opportunity and the tools to begin organic spiritual conversations with not yet Christian friends and family that would last far beyond your planned outreach event? What would the impact on your church be? What would the impact on your community be? What would the impact for the kingdom of God be? As creators of our new extraordinary outreach experience, we want to enable you and your church to have that impact. We start off by training your people how to share their faith and the gospel through our stories, workshop, and message. It's an easy, organic approach to sharing your faith that anyone can do. First, we help them learn God's story. Then we teach them how their story fits within God's story. Finally, we help them learn to connect other people's stories to God's story. We also teach them how they can use our show to begin spiritual conversations with their not yet Christian friends and family. Then we perform a high-quality, fun, and exciting presentation of our show, Illusions. This is an awesome show that combines comedy and magic and music and audience participation. It appeals to all ages, and it will be the buzz around your town. The show ends with a gospel presentation unlike any other. It hits people on multiple levels and will give your congregation talking points for weeks to come. Now, because we want this to be a huge success, not only will you get great teaching and a killer show, but we'll provide high-quality marketing materials so you can really advertise this show to your town and get people talking. And if that weren't enough, Kylie and I will make ourselves available for media interviews, including radio, TV, and newspaper. And on top of all of that, we'll even provide a manual for you and your team to help divide up the tasks at hand and get more people involved in the planning, preparation, and execution of the Extraordinary Outreach Experience. So, contact us today to find out how the Extraordinary Outreach Experience can help you and your congregation reach far beyond your walls with the message of Jesus Christ. We look forward to hearing from you soon.